Okay, so my name is Tom Page. I'm doing this video for Unit 208, Software Install and Upgrade. So this computer here needs Windows installed with Sage and all sorts of other training software for this here training suite. Now all of these computers here are already set up. They've all been set up exactly the same. How I've done that is I've installed it on one, say this one here, installed it on this one, and I've cloned it to all of these other ones, and then they're all done basically. So what my boss has asked me to do is to set this one up as an extra, because we have 8 clients coming in soon, so we need this one running as an extra one. This isn't where it's going to be set up permanently. It will be set up over there later on, but I'm just going to install Windows on it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to hit F12. This will go into the boot menu. Now what I've done, I've set up PXE booting. Now what that is, there's a server running on this server down here, program that will basically host all of the PXE files. So we boot into that. So it seems the server isn't running. I'm going to quickly go turn that on. So what we do here, we've got 2 servers here, both on the same monitor. I've set all of this up as well. This is the server I need, so I'm going to Control-Alt-Delete. Type in the username. Type in the password. Go ahead and log into that. Now I'm going to run the PXE server software. So go ahead and start up. Now that should, once that's loaded, that should log in to the PXE. Hopefully it'll try one more time. Doesn't look like it's going to, so I'm going to switch off the computer, turn it back on. Once again, hit F12. Go into PXE. Now just to note, all of these computers in this room are the same. Exactly the same motherboard, exactly the same specs, exactly the same hard drive, everything. So it makes it a lot easier to clone. Right, so now we're into PXE boot. As you can see, we've got a variety of operating systems and distros and stuff like that. What I want today is CloneZilla Live. That's the cloning software I use, open source, free to use Linux distro. So that's it. Booting into Linux there. CloneZilla. There's no fancy GUI or anything like that. It's very basic, but it does the job. So we're going to select English. We're going to not touch the key map. Right, so we're going to start CloneZilla. We're doing device to image work because I've already got an image from the first computer I ever set up here in this room, and I've updated it as we've installed more programs, done Windows updates, stuff like that. So we're going to select that. We're going to select a Samba server. That's just your normal Windows network share, CIFS for the Windows people. The IP of the server is 200. The domain we're using is Asperity. The account on the domain I want to use is mine, which is tom.page. The directory is CZ images, so CloneZilla images. We're going to use that, auto, OK. And now we need to type in my password for the domain to access the share. So there we go, it's mounted the share. That's all ready to go. Right, we'll go beginner mode. We're going to do restore disk. This will restore the disk from an image that has already been made. So here's all the images I've got here. The one I want to use is this top one here. That's the hard drive you want to install it to. And now we're ready to clone. It's going to ask me a couple of times if I definitely know what I'm doing. I definitely want to do this because obviously anything on this hard drive is going to be lost. And there we go, it's started to clone onto the hard drive through the network. Just to note, there's no sort of media plugged into this computer, no USB drives. This is all done through PXE and network shares. Just to show you, this is the logs of the computer. Logging onto the PXE server, downloading the image and booting it. So the outcome at the end of this computer here will have all the exact same software, all the exact same configurations as all of these here. I myself did all of this. I set up the PXE server, set up the cloning software, did the clones, did the initial install of Windows and all of the programs and everything. And now I'm just doing this clone today. So in a much bigger company with a lot more computers, this could be very, very useful, very time saving. If any of these computers were to go wrong, hardware or software, I could either replace the computer or just reinstall just by cloning it. So very, very easy. So I'm going to come back once this is finished cloning and we'll see the outcome. Okay, so that's finished. Enter to continue. So we're going to reboot and see if that's worked. So I'm going to start Windows normally. And there we go. It's already logged onto the domain and stuff. It's automatically logged into a student account because, like I said, this is for a training suite. And we already have all of our programs installed. Antivirus, Google Chrome, stuff like that. I think it's pretty much up to date in terms of Windows updates. The one thing we do have to do though, as this is a clone, the computer name is going to be the same name as the one I first cloned it from, and this is going to really confuse the DHCP server. So all we have to do is change it. Should be able to tell I'm logged into a domain as it's asked me for a username and password to change system properties. But you'll be able to see that in a sec. And just there, Sperry.local domain. Alright, so we're going to go into computer name here, and we're going to go change. It's called TC1, that's the first one I ever made, that's Teaching Computer 1. This is the 8th computer in this room, so I'm going to call it TC8. Easy as that. Press OK. Now, I'm guessing I'm going to get this error message. If I don't, nice and easy. We haven't got an error message, so just close this, restart now. So I'm going to restart with a new computer name, and then it's done. We'll just test a few programs once it's rebooted just to make sure. I'll come back when it's rebooted rather than bore you. Right, okay, so we've rebooted. Nearly. Okay, so all of our programs are installed. We'll just double check that the computer name has changed. So TC8, still on the domain. Oh, we're not activated for some reason. That's no problem. I'll activate that. I'll do it in a bit. Anyway, let's test a few programs. Google Chrome. There we go. So we got internet, we got Google Chrome working. Now let's go for Sage. These two here are the two programs we are training students in. And this program here connects to a data service stored on the training server, which also hosts a PXE. As you can see, the data path is the server's IP address, if I can get it to focus. So that's how we know that that's working. As long as we can log in, we're all fine there. So we go OK. Manager, no password. And there we go. Logged into the data. It's only test data for students to learn on. But anyway, that's working. Now I'm going to go get an activation key for Windows. I'm not sure why it's not activated. It should be. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to log on to our main server, not the training one. And on this server has all of our installs, stuff like that. So on a Microsoft Windows 7, here it is, and then our serial number. We're a Microsoft partner, so we get keys for all sorts of Windows. I can't show you the key obviously. Just got to copy that. Copied the key. I'm going to do change product key down here. Oh, I just press on that and it comes up with this. So now I'm going to type in the key. Well, just paste the key. So the key's in there now. Now I'm going to press next. Ask for a username and password. I'm just going to type that in. Now it's going to verify. And there we go, activation was successful. So Windows is now activated. It should have already been activated, but for some reason it wasn't, but that's no problem, I've just activated there and then. So there we go. That is a software install using a variety of programs that I thought were suitable for this install. Of course, most of this was already set up by me. I just had to install this one computer. So there we go. So actions that we're saying. Well, we've got a few updates. Might as well do them just for. Oops. Yeah, you might as well do an update just so you can see me doing an update. So ABG seems to need an update. Up there we can see. So what I'm going to do, I'll open ABG. We also have licenses for ABG Business Edition. We are an ABG reseller. So as we can see, we're not fully protected because everything is out of date. So to be honest, it's already updating, but we'll click to fix all. You might get a prompt for administrator. There it is. So we're going to type in the domain administrator password. Taking its time for some reason. It'll get there in the end though. Can't rush things. as you can see, it is now updating. I think it's doing that before, but it might take some time. Right, that's taken a long time, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause the camera and come back once it's done. Right, so that update is finished. Update completed successfully. We're protected now. Let's just double check by opening AVG. And there we go, you are protected. The update is finished. So that computer is ready to go for a student to use, do all their training on. I'm just going to shut it down now because it's not going to be used. So yeah, in conclusion, that there probably took me about half an hour, 40 minutes in total. Whereas if I was to do a fresh install of Windows, you know, just installing Windows would have taken me 45 minutes to an hour. Then I've got to install all the programs, configure them all, get it on the domain. You know, that altogether would have taken 2.5 to 3 hours. So the time difference is amazing by using PXE and cloning. So yeah.